All right, we're back and we're talking a little Modesto here. Talked about on the pod, but we're going to talk about it a little bit deeper here where I'm not half asleep. We got an announcement from management, mainly ownership, Dave Heller, we'll throw that up on the screen, saying that they were going to make a further announcement next week, 24th, about the future of the Glow Riders brand and the whole uniform kit and identity going forward here. And I just want to take a sec to talk about that. Now, we criticized it on the pod, and it's got pretty solid criticism online that realistically it didn't feel like a Modesto-based brand. It felt more Southern LA, like Latino American kind of a brand here, playing off of a lowrider. You know, the whole design definitely had kind of a Mexican feel to it, which, in fairness, I do like the designs. I think they are pretty nice. I just didn't get the vibe that this was the way to go for a Modesto team and that they could have found something a little bit more on brand for it. They said it was more American Graffiti based. Fine, whatever on that. But really, it feels like we're about to get a change in course here. Ryan brought up on the pod that Fresno has an alter ego that's the lowriders. Fresno isn't that far from Modesto, so that could very well be it. It could also be that, you know, they just saw a lot of community backlash and said, let's change course on this. We could still use this uniform kit for our version of a Copa thing, or just as an alternate identity on, you know, say Saturday nights or something like that. It very well could just turn into something like that. We're going to get a brand new brand. It could even just be them doubling down on the existing brand here. But I'm going to choose to believe that what we're going to see from Dave Heller when he brings JT Snow out there as well is that we're going to get a new brand. We're going to get something that's a little bit more in line with what people were expecting, that may have a little bit more community feedback. And now that the original design had been out for roughly a week at this point, and we're going to get something that more embraces this community. And honestly, if that's the case, good on them for changing course now before it gets too deep into this and they have to do another rebrand. Let's just get it done out of the way and do it right from the get-go. However, this is just another in a long line of chapters about teams not necessarily doing their due diligence well enough, right? If this is a Chowderheads type situation, obviously in reference to New England Chowderheads that then became New England Knockouts and are now currently the Brockton Rock, they went with a brand that nobody really wanted from the get-go. Chowderheads was already taken by another team nearby, so it was a failing on due diligence of 2 points of what the community wanted and what legally would be a major issue for selling merchandise and branding, and just more obviously even just mess up your SEO for no real reason. So I imagine it's something similar here with Glow Riders. And like I said, I'd like to just see in the future better due diligence as, and this is an across indie ball type of thing. This is not just central to the Modesto or to the Pioneer League. This is in general. We need to do better due diligence because right now this is happening a little too frequently. So good on them for reversing course once they saw it was a problem, but it also feels like a problem that could have been avoided. So I wanted to hop on, quickly talk that, and then shoot you back to the regular scheduled programming. Short videos are a little easier to get out, so maybe we're going to do more of those. But yeah, new pod dropped a little bit ago, so check that out. Interviews coming up, not next week, week after, and Q&A in a month. So got a lot to look forward to. Make sure you subscribe to not miss it, and until next time, don't forget to play ball.